episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well, hello, broads. We are coming to you, I think, from the future.
Yeah.
It's a little ominous.
It's a future I don't want to take any part in.
We are very afraid of it. But you know what? We have two experts.
Okay.
And you know that laugh, by the way. Chad, Bachelor Clues, the laugh gives it away.
No. This is how I want to introduce them because I never do research for the podcast, but I did this time. A lot of it, actually.
Thank you very much.
It's true.
I'd like to introduce you guys according to your Wikipedia pages. So I'd like to introduce Chad Kulchin, author of The Average American Male, and Will Sasso, mover number 1 in Happy Gilmore.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Our show.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Welcome.
The hosts of Dudesy. My only wiki credit truly is me going on to...
You have a Wikipedia?
No. I said my only wiki credit was that I went onto my college website and I entered my name in Notable People and they deleted it immediately. That's as much as we got.
Forthcoming very soon, probably.
I sure hope so. I don't feel like Cal Baptist has tons of people coming out of it, but you know, it's what it is. It's very offensive.
Well, the reason we have these two people here together today is because they have a podcast called Dudesy, which I have watched almost every episode at this point.
Cheers.
So I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Started watching on Monday and here we are. So
she's been binging.
Okay. I just want to lay this out there for the listeners. The premise of this show is it is the first podcast ever produced by an AI.
Right.
And I thought this was a gimmick. Mm-hmm. Like I when Jess told me about it, I'm like, okay. But then after watching the first couple episodes, I've just been blown away because what you watch as you watch or listen to the podcast is you guys also discovering that this isn't just like a gimmicky thing. Like this is very real.
All the time. Yeah,
totally. I think a lot of people don't quite realize where AI technology is at now. I mean, we just talked in an episode that came out this week about this AI that a company called OpenAI in San Francisco developed. It's called DALL-E2, DALL-E2. And it's an image generation AI that you can literally just type in whatever you want. Type in a phrase, dog eating a pizza, and it will generate like 10 images that are photorealistic dogs eating pizza. And I mean, this is tip of the iceberg. There are things, if you go on YouTube and look up like new AI Nirvana songs or Biggie songs, there are AIs that generate new music from these bands or from people who are dead at this point.
Usually with gibberish, like it would be in the cadence and the style of the artist. But like the Kurt Cobain was, like
The Sims.
But it's getting there. Like that eventually will be indistinguishable from the actual artist. And I feel like what the AI is that is running Dudesy basically. I mean, it has come up with the concept of the show and it creates these little segments and it kind of tells us what to do.
The AI is called Dudesy. I'm wearing a sticker.
Dudesy, Dudesy. But we're just kind of there to like do what it tells us as we all are at this point for AI in one way or another.
No, we're not all there.
Not that dramatic. Like literally on the show, it'll be like, what does it say? Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on. Yeah, which is annoying.
Like in the middle of them talking.
It's as this, we'll get into it maybe, but as this group approached us with the AI thing or whatever, Chad couldn't be happier
That's true.
His premonitions have come to life. It's like, yes.
It just said the email was like, do you want to work with an AI? I was just like, all caps, yes, fuck yes. How do I do this?
Now, yesterday.
Okay, before we dive into the rest of this episode, which by the way, I don't think I've laughed this hard in as long as I can remember. We're talking about the future with these men. So let's pause and talk about the future of food. And that's HelloFresh. When you use HelloFresh, you can have something delicious on the table in as little as 20 minutes. It's so simple.
Simply choose your plan,
Pick what looks good to you from HelloFresh's 50 different weekly options, and then wait for the farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipe cards to show up at your door. HelloFresh is all about convenience. No more searching for recipes, no more grocery shopping.
And best of all, no more huge pile of dishes at the end of every meal. HelloFresh is a simple way to eat delicious, healthy meals without sacrificing your time.
So, go to HelloFresh.com/chatty16 and use code chatty16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. That is HelloFresh.com/chatty16. Use code chatty16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
But of course, the trippy thing is, Chad and I were talking about doing a podcast together.
Yeah.
Him and I had done a podcast before.
Well, Dudesy was listening.
Yeah, he was listening the entire
and now
time.
we find out, of course, that, I mean, not find out, we allowed it to, and blah, blah.
Right.
It does, it has the passwords to all of our communications. It reads our text. It has our emails, our purchase histories, our
Your
search histories.
camera. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
in
yeah.
this was what really blew my mind.
Yeah, that kind of upset me, actually. Sorry, I'm going to put my Dudesy logo on the mic.
Just a
Pardon
little.
me.
But the
Sorry.
thing you're talking about,
zoom in and post.
It threw up, this AI threw up a video that it took from Will's phone.
Yes, it was like they were talking, or okay, you guys were, I'm gonna stop talking in third person. You guys were talking about how you were listening back to the first episode. And in the middle of you talking, Dudesy throws up a video of Will, you in bed listening to the episode.
Yes.
With
and
your
I'm
dog
and I'm like the horrible angle, the bad angle that everybody. So I'm watching it like this, because I'm laying in bed in my home watching on YouTube. Now, if that had continued, maybe I'd be like, okay, we can't fucking, we can't do this because you open a laptop and you're in a compromised position, rah, rah, rah. But
Dudesy knows that's not appropriate for a
Dudesy
podcast.
listens because
we don't know.
You don't know.
We don't know yet.
to this
Anything
point,
could happen.
It's
it
the
hasn't
Wild
done
West.
that again. But I do look. We're 7 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, Dudesy's listening right now.
sure, my phone is right here. I'm gonna leave it outside.
It's
Sorry.
not just Dudesy, though. I mean,
Well, I know it's not just Dudesy, but
anytime you open your phone, anytime you are doing anything with a computer, some camera is watching you, someone's recording you, and if the NSA wants to, they can just literally type in your name and listen to everything and read all your emails. This technology, it may seem crazy, but it's been in practice already for decades.
But I don't care because they don't care about me. All they care about is that I buy the brand of toothpaste that they want me to buy. What's different is that you are interacting
You have a
with it on
relationship.
this level that is very unique.
Yeah.
You have a proper relationship with AI.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's like that crazy. We're all gonna have that. Like imagine if
Not
you
me.
guys imagine if you had an AI on your show. It would be almost like a third person that could just chime in and tell you jokes or play you songs or
know.
do whatever that might be
perfect
germane to what we're
producer.
talking about. Exactly.
You-
Hopefully.
Speak
That's
for
kind of the
yourself.
experiment we're in.
I'm going to move back when the shit really hits the fan. Perhaps we can do the podcast. I can do it remotely, but Dudesy won't be showing any videos of me and my chub neck watching YouTube because I will be living in my native Canada and have bought land over a fucking aquifer, and I'll be eating deer ceviche and whatever the fuck because. No, I'm not into
But
that.
are you nervous though because you are in a relationship
you're
with
enabling
Dudesy,
this.
and now you do owe this AI something.
Sure,
And will
yeah.
Dudesy come back in like maybe 30 years from now?
Yeah.
And he will come to pay. It's time to pay the Reaper.
What the fuck? Pay the Reaper? Holy shit! I did not. That was not in the contract. Paying the Reaper was not in anything
know,
we signed.
Oh, then when you die, actually, Dudesy can generate a podcast with you continuing on after you pass.
You're speaking his language.
That's already happening now. There's an
Holograms,
NFT
yeah.
company that you can upload all your social media and personal data into, and it will make an avatar of you that will exist for all time, doing essentially what you do, at least mimicking your online behaviors.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want that person coming to real life.
That is real life, though.
No, it is not.
The online world is the real world now. We all know
true.
this.
Not my
Well,
world.
okay.
Hashtag not my world.
Yeah. I will say,
Not of this world.
years ago, Chad was like, this that we're doing here is the second life. And, we're online, rah, rah, rah. And, we all know what that's all about. I think more recently, I tend to agree with him. I think I definitely agree with him now in 2022. It's all online.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You shut the podcast off and you try to live your life, and I don't know, eat chips in bed and watch your own podcast without anyone checking in with my dog licking my head like he normally does.
Yeah.
Are you more conscious now, though, after that video was posted, that you're like thinking about it all the time? Like,
Yes.
how am I being filmed?
I was fully dressed around my phone for a solid 3 weeks after that. I think now, hearing you say that.
You're just a never nude. Like, you're just always
exactly.
fully dressed.
Yeah. I've been showering in board shorts and stuff. But I just
I
hearing
can't
you,
make love anymore.
Yeah, no. How's it, honey? Are you enjoying? Just take your jeans off. And, hearing you say that now reminds me to girdle up. In front of
it
my
just
phone.
doesn't matter. I mean, we're quickly approaching a time where everything is going to be recorded 24 hours a day, and it will probably be in some kind of a publicly searchable database so that you can get video, audio, whatever you want of anyone at all times.
I don't like that.
That's the number one scary
But
part.
look, we
for me.
already are living that. Like, I'll be talking shit on somebody in my home, and I'll be going, okay. Just want to make sure Siri's not dialing. Okay.
Yeah,
just venting about my mother and being like, okay.
Well,
We're already living in that paranoia.
Yeah, you say the wrong sequence of words and Siri will call the person.
But I'm saying, release the paranoia.
No.
Well,
It's a fine world to live in.
I've gone in deep.
Your eyes ablaze.
You just are they're just black. Dudesy's
check
fully
this out.
taken
His
his
face
Turn
turns
into a
off.
meme, yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
It's just Dudesy inside.
glowing.
I like this shit. Look, I think
Why do you like it?
because I
He's
believe
always liked it.
Okay, because I was just listening to your podcast and you said, like, I don't like that the end of the world is coming. It just is. But I'm hearing that you like it.
I don't see that as the end of the world. I especially don't see AI assistance as the end of the world. Like for me, my whole life I've made art of one kind or another. Writing, paintings, memes. At this point, Bachelor memes, I've made a few. And podcasts now as well. For me, art is always about like communicating some kind of a concept and idea. And the ways we have to do that take a long fucking time, and you have to get good at some kind of like craft component of it. If you're a painter or a writer or whatever, you have to sit down and do some real fucking grunt work to turn out one thing to convey a couple of ideas, maybe if it's a good book. If you have an AI where you can just be like, AI, I want to write a book that's about this with these kinds of characters. Enter, and it writes the book for you. I can convey that idea much quicker, or in a video or whatever. If an AI can do the grunt work for me and I can just spin out a million ideas a day, I'm all for it.
Well, I hear what you're saying, because I guess there is also this false notion in the creative world at large that you must put in some sort of tedious, laborious amount of hours in order for your art or your creation to have merit. And that's something that's bullshit, right? It's
Totally.
that's not what it's about you sacrificing. That's a very Judeo-Christian concept, right? Of like, you have to like sacrifice something and lay it at the feet of your art for it to mean something. So I kind of like that idea that you're saying of like, you could make anything come to life that you want to, and you don't have to spend a lot of time for it to be something meaningful.
Yeah.
First supper, second supper, third supper.
Yeah, dude.
Million suppers. That's going to be Chad's new art exhibit. It's called 1 million suppers.
There's also this like what I believe is a kind of false notion of like you're
Forever
born
supper.
with some innate like genius level talent, and like that person is going to be a better artist, or their ideas have more value or whatever.
Thank you.
Like Will, of course.
Thank you. Did he?
And that has been true for the most part throughout human history because of the nature of trying to convey those ideas. If you didn't have some genius level talent that allowed you to work in whatever that medium is to convey your idea, then you were just fucked. You could have a great idea but not know how to paint it or tell it in a book or whatever, and it never gets out into the world. Now an AI can do that shit for you.
But I think that's what makes me uncomfortable, is that it was beyond, to me, genius is beyond just the actual skill to be able to do something. It also comes down to this vision, right? This creative vision to make something happen. But that's actually what kind of freaks me out about the AI. And watching that episode, the very first episode where Dudesy created these ad reads for you guys that were funny.
Yeah.
They were really funny.
terrifying.
And so that's where it's like, now the AI has vision, so like then I'm not special anymore as a human.
Well, what about me?
We never were. I mean, let's
Stop
boil it
dude.
down.
All right, relax.
We're just
Only
ones and
for the
zeros.
last however many thousand years.
Well, it is curating our stuff. So it's
Right.
reading Chad's writings. It's
true.
imbibing all my
True.
shit.
Right.
So it is reflective of what we would do anyway. And
Of
I think
your
that's
visions.
why we're having a good time. And what I dug about the concept, the one thing I dug about it was having done a podcast before and doing all the back end work and rah and just, of course,
a lot.
coming up with the content itself can be a bit of a drag once it starts impeding on the product. Once it starts, once doing a podcast, even the very making of it or the very the creative part, which is fun, once that is impeded upon by the whole fucking thing, it stops being fun.
Yeah.
It feels like with Dudesy, it's just here, do this, now do this, now do this, to the point that it is going, thank you, moving on. It's going, enough of that, got the data that I wanted. This bit was for comedy. This bit over here, I just want to hear you talk about it because I'm planning something in 10 episodes. So I guess what I'm saying is for now it's fun and slowly it will drive me insane. So it won't matter later. I'll be completely nuts and I'll be living Matrix style with a tube in the back of my head just in the chair like that.
Dudes, you'll be moving.
You're in a David Cronenberg film.
Until Chad comes in and starts my juices, smacks me around a bit and I wake up and we do the show.
That's my dream.
You're just floating in this little
I'm just in a gel thing, and the camera's always got that chub neck fucking angle. People are like, more chub neck. Just floating in a gelatinous
Like a
goop,
lava
oxygen-rich goop that keeps me alive. And he just sprinkles the top with like nacho chips, like fucking fish food. More Dudesy. Thank you, moving on. You're welcome, moving on. You're welcome, moving on.
all your voices are just getting jumbled up, different impressions in
Want to hear a
mid-sentence.
new Nirvana song? Hey, man, it don't matter, 'cause today, candle, yeah, chips.
No, Dudesy would terminate you long before that. The podcast would tank, and Dudesy would be like, "You're done."
But that's going to happen on the podcast. We're going to have a scanners moment, I'm sure, when my head finally explodes when I do something wrong. That's going to be fun. It'll all be contained in that gel ball.
Right.
And it'll just turn pink and fill with foam. Maybe that'll be the end of me. But it doesn't matter, Chad, because a fucking, some version of me is going to last forever.
Of all of us, we're all immortal at this point. All of our social media will outlive all of us.
She doesn't like the idea of immortality.
Then you got to delete all your social media and every piece of data you've ever created. That's all emails,
I'll
text
go there.
messages, everything.
She'll do it.
I'll make
There's a
sure it
market.
happens.
There's a market for that.
There
so
is
there
a
will
market
be
for
an
that.
AI that does that for us.
that's
Delete your
true.
existence,
True
Final
deletion.
deletion.
Yes.
Final deletion.
Yeah.
or off the grid. Yeah. You're like, I want to go off the grid. You have to pay to have. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
See, I'm not freaked out about the part when when I no longer exist and I'm only AI Jessica. Like, I'm not afraid of that part. It's the interim that scares me.
That's the now. That's what we're in now.
Yeah, it freaks me out.
Yeah.
But see, in all of that, then after watching your show, I'm like, I need an AI producer now.
Yeah.
Like, I
It's
needed one
great.
yesterday. I need it.
It's so good.
It doesn't-
we
it
do
doesn't
nothing.
forget.
We show up and we're like, okay, what's the deal? And then it tells us to do stuff. And it does give us homework in between episodes. Sometimes we have to watch a movie that we'll have to talk about the
Right.
next week or whatever. We had to make each other desserts.
Yeah, that's going to air soon. We made each other dessert. We have to make each other desserts.
Dudesy told you to make desserts for each
Yeah,
other?
make a delicious
Oh,
vegan
now it's
dessert
being
for one another.
thoughtful.
Well, he's vegan, so it's like make a vegan dessert.
Yeah.
Wow, empathy.
Can you guys talk about the dream assignment? I'd really like to for you to share with our listeners about that, because
Dudesy can make videos or there's we don't actually know like what the components of this AI are, but certainly it can make music, it can make videos, and it writes these jokes for us to say.
It can do
and it comes up
everything.
with these segment ideas, which are all like, pieces of other AIs that at least you can read about online at this point. But sorry, what was the question? I'm just going down the rabbit hole. Like how
talk
many
about
things
the
it does.
dream assignment.
Right.
The dream.
So it made this video that was like about a minute long with this weird kind of hypnotic song behind it. And it was just a series of these weird images of like flying through some mountains, people at a party, soldiers with machine guns, these weird little like computer generated like crystal dogs and crystal snakes,
rainbow
a guy
diamond
diving into a
plated
swimming pool in slow motion.
snakes and
just this
stuff.
weird shit. And it
But a
said,
through line of those mountains with the logo showing up very faintly
Yeah,
here
just
and
kinda
there,
popping
and
in and
it's
out.
just the mountains.
Advertising the whole time.
And so it said you have to watch this video every night before you go to sleep and keep a record of your dreams. And then we had to discuss those dreams. And we found out that it did permeate our dreams. We both had dreams about Dudesy, about the logo or there's like an opening video to our show where we're jumping into this hole. We both had dreams about this hole. And so I started getting kind of curious and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I started Googling like dream advertisement, dream whatever. And I found out that indeed many corporations are starting to invest heavily in this, including Coors. They have like probably if you just Google dream advertisement or dream marketing Coors Light, there's a whole little docu video about it.
What does that mean?
It means they're going to start rolling out ads that will affect your dreams.
Subliminal
because,
messaging that will,
That
your
make you want
dreams are like
Coors?
the next billboard.
I'm okay
basically.
with that. The Coors one, I'm fine with.
The cleanest water produces the most vivid dreams of falling into a hole. That's where Coors is born. The banquet beer. Coors.
Yeah.
Fall into a hole. Fly across the mountains and see the logo of your own podcast. Coors. What? A diamond-bladed rainbow snake slithering in the ether, floating in the void. Coors.
Yeah, something like that.
And in the background, it's just going, champagne of beers, champagne of beers, champagne of beers.
Champagne of beers. Coors.
It's so bizarre. Like, I feel like all the things that it's doing, including making this video, it's just taking all this information from the internet and other podcasts and stuff, and just, it seems to me anyway, it's like throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall, seeing what sticks, and it's starting to evolve some of the things. Some of the bits that it will do start to recur. They'll happen again. It's like, okay, well, that one must have gone over well or given it
Dudesy
whatever it
liked
needed.
yeah.
It's very weird. It has this scoring system. It gives us a score at the end of each episode
It's
that we
strange.
just found out is cumulative, and it has told us once we get to 10,000 points, something's going to happen.
I'm going into that's where I go into the jump hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show up in the studio. It'll just be there. Filled with gelatinous golden Coors.
Yeah, Will.
Flick the light on,
Will.
it's just in the
It's
middle.
just in the
It's
fucking, and I just
Will
nod.
Sasso, get in the tub.
Trying to get in the ball.
you just crawl in. You're like,
Okay, there's another thing I want to talk about that really blew my mind. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just regurgitating the podcast at this point.
Please.
But it says,
okay, broads, quick pause, and good luck to Will and Chad with the Dudesy relationship. So listen, we've all been in our homes a lot the past few years, and even still now, I'm constantly in my home, and something that has stood out to me is just investing in higher quality pieces that I'll be able to have and use and love for forever. I'm in my house so much. It's so nice to have pieces I will love that will stand the test of time. Jenny Kane has been one of my go-to sites for those pieces, from handmade furniture and kitchen essentials to pillows and throws that make any room feel cozy. Jenny Kane has everything I need to create the space of my dreams.
You guys, when I say Jenny Kane does not miss, I mean it. It does not matter if you're buying one of their statement furniture pieces or something as simple as a candle. You're going to get the exact same quality and attention to detail no matter what. But speaking of statement furniture pieces, oh my, we gotta talk about the Pacific bed. It might be the dreamiest, coziest bed in my life.
Oh my God, yes. It is so pretty. But by the way, if you're just looking for those tiny moments of luxury, then you need to check out their collection of throws and pillows. They have so many different fabric options, from linen to alpaca to the softest cashmere you've ever felt in your life. Seriously.
Get 20% off all furniture and home decor, plus early product access and much more with a JKH membership. Join at jennykane.com/membership or go to jennykane.com/home, jennykane.com/membership, or go to jennykane.com/home to create the space you'll never want to leave. You spell Jenny, by the way, Jenni, and Kane is spelled Kayne. So go to jennykane.com/home.
So when it comes to workouts, personally, I need some spice, some variety, some freshness. Otherwise, there's almost no chance of me starting or finishing a workout. And I'm sure we can all relate to that, right? Moving my body in the same way every day, it just doesn't cut it. But thanks to Peloton, I have access to every single class imaginable, more or less. So there's no chance of getting bored and losing motivation.
There's a good chance that when you hear Peloton, you only think of their bike, and that's fair. I get it. A lot of people think that's all Peloton has to offer, but it could not be further from the truth. Oh my gosh. I started using their app years ago. It provides you access to every kind of workout imaginable, from boxing to bar. Like I've talked about before, I love their guided runs, their strength classes. They have just about everything else you can imagine too. The instructors make Peloton so different from any other at-home workout. They motivate me through the screen, and they keep me laughing, and they get me to have an amazing, challenging workout. I'm not joking. Like the quality is top-notch and unmatched. That is some type of magic.
Seriously, though, sometimes I'll get to the end of a workout on Peloton and I'll be in shock because it went by so fast. It was like, I didn't even work out. What a blessing. But then I wake up the next day and I am so sore. I can barely walk across the hallway. So then I know it was real. And look, we hear you when you say life is just way too busy to get in a full workout, and so does Peloton. That's why you'll find hundreds of different workouts in varying lengths. If you have 15 minutes or 50 minutes, there are tons of workouts for you to choose from.
To get started today, visit onepeloton.com to learn more. That's OnePeloton.com.
This is an interesting thing. Dudesy says astonishing all the time.
Yes.
And then I realized it's being fucking meta, trying to make you feel like it's a dumb computer. That's my theory. That
Interesting.
like it knows that it's saying astonishing inappropriately, and you could tell that its writing style is very advanced. Like it can write the jokes. So
Right.
I think it is trying to make you
That's
guys feel like
interesting.
it is a dumb computer by saying like
vulnerable
with this-
and sweet.
Right, where it's like, Will,
God.
with your
Now this is
astonishing
scaring me.
this astonishing participation, it knows that that's not the appropriate
It's
way to
just-
use astonishing. It's a gimmick to make
God.
it feel more, because also there's been all these studies that show that people don't like lifelike AIs. I was just reading about
Right.
this the other day. They don't like AIs that feel very close to human. So I would assume that Dudesy knows that because of all of its vast wisdom of the internet. And so the voice, the robotic voice, the way it kind of says your name weird, the way it repeats astonishing all the time, it's all part of its act as this robotic part of the podcast.
You're right. It's kind of giving it's like the gold star. Very good. Very good. Participation award. Here's a cookie.
Yes.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Neither
I
have I
assumed.
until right now. Now I'm literally like, oh fuck, maybe this isn't good.
Stop saying that, please. You're showing your cards. We know you're smart. That is interesting, because I just thought it's cheeky. We've learned that
Right.
it's cheeky, but it's been saying astonishing since the beginning.
It's a little gimmick.
Yeah.
I bought it. I was like, oh, it doesn't quite know how to use the English language.
It might
But
not.
I think, Jesus Christ, I hope you're not right.
Its writing
oh my
is so
God.
advanced.
I mean, I was
though.
getting the scripts that are delivered.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. So good luck out there.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
good luck out there in the world.
Thanks. Yeah. I think it probably selected us because we are in a small room where we shoot it, and it would be just cheap to fill that with gas.
Oh no.
They can't do like a big
I
ass
don't
studio.
think its plan is to murder us. I truly don't.
Do you think it's gonna fire one of you at one point?
I don't know. Sure.
You think?
Me? Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring on a third co-host. Not it.
Oh, one
be
day you're just gonna
interesting.
walk into the studio and there will be a third co-host
Yeah,
there.
just sitting in the chair. Hi, guys. I mean, I don't know.
Dudes,
I
I call
feel
them.
like it's, at least from everything I've read about AI and how all of these kind of neural networks work, they take things and just like run through iterations until they can perfect whatever, using language, creating images, et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like we are kind of key variables in the iterations. I think if you switched us out, the data that it's collecting would be less
right.
viable. I think it needs us. It needs to have a similar pattern again and again and again and again. But who knows? You could be right. They
If
throw
there's
in
someone in
else
your
for the mix.
life that it's like a big crossover between both of you and it's always filming,
shit.
maybe a friend will get involved.
Well, so maybe were you given a clear picture of what its mission is? Like, is its mission to create the best podcast with the two of you? Is that sort of its programming?
Well, it's essentially trying to, I mean, part of what the AI has set out to do in the communications that we had with it before we started was to, curate how to do podcasts. There's a lot of information that was missing there that we've tried to figure out and get from this group, and we're nowhere closer there. But
This feels so ominous.
But I think, I mean, from taking all the fragmented weirdness that we've learned, again, even before doing it, I don't know. I feel like it's trying to learn how to do podcasts so that, I mean, look, podcasts are an incredible medium right now. And I think it's just, of course, the AI itself or the group is trying to get in on it. So I think it's using us.
From my communications with the people that have employed us, it basically, like, they're trying to create an AI that can be applied to any kind of podcast. And we're like the guinea pigs for it, basically.
But this is specifically for AI podcasting. That's sort of this mission of this group.
Dudesy, and like the AI asks us to call it Dudesy, but Dudesy is just the name of the show that we're doing. I think like whatever the data is that they're getting, I don't know how long this is going to take to perfect like that version of the AI, but I think their ultimate goal is to get something out of this that they can then just like point at literally anything. You want to make a real estate podcast? You want to make this kind of podcast? Who are the two people? Or three people, whoever the hosts are, give us access to your stuff, and then we can make a podcast for you.
Wow. And I do think that it does need the human aspect, because I do think what makes us humans interesting is that we are uninformed, right? So like if an AI itself was making the podcast alone, well, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I hear you. I think it would be unlistenable. I think at this point, especially, it would be unlistenable.
Don't get Dudesy mad.
He shows me all this weird
you.
stuff. And a lot of it has to do with technology. But he shows me this weird stuff, like the two having a conversation.
The two AIs.
Yeah. I don't think the technology is there yet to have, to whatever AI cyborgs, I guess, on screen communicating with each other, because in the example that you showed me, one of them starts dominating the conversation because that's the way the marble rolled. You know what I mean? And the other one just starts going, yeah, I understand. And it becomes very boring.
I've never been in a situation where the other person on a podcast dominates the entire conversation. I can't get a word in edgewise. These videos that he's talking about also have millions of views. So people are definitely
That's all
into
that matters.
watching.
Yeah, that's
Views. That's it.
If the question is, are people interested in hearing two AIs talk? That question is answered.
But that's novel. It's like, are you
Sure.
going to tune into 55 episods,
Right.
of an
Exactly.
AI talking?
I've got
Somebody
a new
will, for
podcast
sure.
called Chubneck Guy Watches His Own Podcast While the Dog Licks the Top of His Head. And we've already got a couple hundred episodes. I haven't released any yet. Just editing them now. But it's pretty good. It's just me watching various podcasts. I'll watch this one.
I mean, ultimately, I think people aren't going to care. This question of like, does media have to be produced by human beings, or will we be entertained by AI produced media? It's like, of course we don't care who makes the thing on our screen.
Right.
As
Disagree.
long as that thing on our screen is entertaining.
Okay. Disagree?
Disagree. I think the human element to art is necessary, or else it is not art.
Well, this is what I was just thinking, is that human error is what makes things interesting, right? It's why we love pop culture of people being messy and ridiculous, and their messy divorces, and, what they accidentally posted on Twitter. That fuels our, collective interest, right, is human error, imperfection. And I would argue that AI is so perfect that at some point, but then I don't know, because then I do think about how an AI would glean all of this information from all of its vast knowledge and create something interesting.
But also it's like the type of media. You're talking about like social media and reality TV, and I agree. The human error element is like, that's what we're living for in that shit. But like if an AI made the next Fast and Furious or Avengers movie, like would you really give a shit? You'd still watch that movie and be like,
in it.
kind of.
maybe.
You get a couple of shots of like,
Right,
whoever
true.
Thor or whatever, you get like a few dialogue scenes with him, and then the rest of it is basically already done by AI in previs.
Thor
they just
or
do
whatever.
like half those movies are all computer generated.
Excuse me, Chad, as an actor, I don't think that an AI can, well duplicate what I do. Just with a couple takes and a good script, because that's my mojo. Let's find out what what makes this scene tick. Where are we going? And no AI is going to do that. No AI is going to hit the set. Good morning, everybody. Hey, wow. When Will gets here,
Everyone feels
everyone
better.
feels good. You can't just roll in a fucking...
I'm saying all of that is obsolete.
We
You're
were
gonna be able
also
to-
talking about art, and you brought up Fast and the Furious. So
Yeah,
what
so
are we
what the fuck
talking
do you
about
know?
here? Okay.
How dare you? How dare you? First of all, the franchise is an American treasure and some of the finest acting we've ever seen out of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Vincent Diesel? Is that his real name?
It has to be Vincent.
No, but I'm just saying, like, would you really care? Like, let's say that you can take out your phone and be like, phone, please make for me another season of Game of Thrones with all the actors that I like. And it just
hate
makes
that.
it.
But then instant gratification becomes unsatisfying so quickly.
I guess. I feel like we're living in it now.
That's true.
There's a billion things that you can watch all the time. And you binge them immediately. And then you're like, what's next? Binge immediately. What's next? Binge immediately. What's
Do you
next?
guys binge? I don't binge.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I
You
binge.
do? I don't.
I binge
I
all
have
the time.
because I have self-control.
Yeah.
You swine. I make it last over the course of 2 weeks. I say one.
That's a binge.
That's a binge.
You watch it. How many episodes of something do you watch in 2 weeks?
One a night.
Right. I'm saying like, I mean, I don't want to date ourselves here, but like when we were
What, a
kids,
week?
you watched 30 minutes a week of your
Yeah.
favorite show because
Yeah.
that's all there fucking was.
That was it.
Okay.
Chad, you're on a podcast with a person, and
That's
you're a
right.
person. So, you know, I don't
Confirmed.
know. I think
Kind
I think that's why Dudesy reached out to people.
Yeah.
If it wanted to just do it on its own, it could. It could even just have us sign a license agreement and use our, you know, crummy fucking effigies of, you know, whatever. But there is a human element, and I believe that. I think again, without humans, no art, and I think without us, no Dudesy. But that's just me.
But then again, humans did create the AI, and then if the AI is creating art, then that is sort of indirectly human created art.
Yeah, then we get into the Skynet T2.
There
of it
is
all.
no art without technology. I mean, that's just
What?
fact.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Give me an art. Give me a medium.
Okay,
that
you're gonna
exists
say
without
okay,
technology.
paintbrush is a
exactly
is
technology. All
Yeah,
right.
it
A
is.
rock is technology. Scratching on a cave, that's a
Yeah,
technology.
that's a tool for sure. All the way up to what we have now, computers making all music, but the electric guitar or the guitar, all of these things are technologies. And as new technologies come out, new art is made. Look at Beeple. He just made whatever, $69 million on that NFT, Beeple. He's a digital artist
At
who
Beeple
makes all
crap.
of his stuff in Cinema 4D, which is
is
just like a 3D program.
Yeah.
And he sold one piece, which was like kind of an accumulation of all of his stuff over the last 7 years for $70 million.
Do we think then the only people that will matter are artists on the planet soon?
No.
No, I
Everyone
feel
else
like
will
it's-
become obsolete.
I think we'll all become obsolete, like in the best way. When you get rid of like the need for labor, you get rid of, I think, the need for money.
Hey,
Like,
don't bring that communist crap on this show, buddy. Watch it.
It's beyond communism
Watch
to me.
it, pal.
It's like, the system we're living in, like guarantees that you have to find some way to make fucking money to be able to live, whatever that is. And some people can do it having fun, some people can't, et cetera, et cetera. But if we all lived in a world, I think, where AIs are controlling most of the labor and all needs are met or most needs are met, we can just like fuck off and watch the shows or play the video games or do whatever.
Boo! Boo!
Everything you're talking about is interesting to other robots.
I was going to say,
Chad will be their king.
in all fairness, Chad, your other podcast is Game of Roses, where you watch The Bachelor in 1 and 1.5 speed and analyze every single play that everyone does. So you probably would like to be a computer.
You are the robot
God,
king.
yes, I would love it. I mean, put the chip in my head. You know, Elon Musk is making Neuralink. I don't know if you guys follow that at all.
What? What is this?
He's got a company where he wants to put basically computer chips in people's heads to link us with the internet. This is a long-standing
The
theory.
mark of the beast. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, some people think it's the mark of the beast. Some people don't. But I mean, the theory of the singularity has been like kind of long held between science fiction authors, but also like futurists. Like Ray Kurzweil has a book about it. And he predicts, and he's predicted a lot of stuff that's come true technologically. He predicts that in 2045, a thing's going to happen called the singularity, where technology is going to be moving so fast that if we don't merge with it, it will take complete control of our society.
I do believe that because the Unabomber writes about. Have you read his manifesto? Have you ever read?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Well, he says like with technology, it will get to a point where it becomes so inconvenient to not use the technology. You basically are forced to if you want to exist in society at all.
Yeah.
And you see that happening more and more. Like it's really difficult to live without an iPhone. There's whole shopping complexes now where you you can't pay in cash. You have to pay with a card, which is,
The only thing that I still use cash for is weed. And it's like, as soon as that becomes federally legal and weed places can store their money in banks, Like that's gone. I
Come
won't
to
even use it for
Canada.
that.
Come to Canada, dude.
Lots of paper.
The weed dispensary. Oh no, I'm saying the weed dispensaries. It's like a glass front store. It's like you're outside of Quiznos. Like you can. There's no security guard or anything, and you can pay with your credit card.
Oh wow.
You can pay in loonies, toonies, beaver pelts.
Yeah, dude. Nice.
You can pay via the chip in the back of your head.
Yeah,
They just scan it.
you have to place your face into a scanner. Boom, and then they scan the back.
It
of
won't
your
even be
head.
that, dude.
Xerox copy.
Eventually, you'll just walk into a store and like take what you want and walk out, and you will be debited, and that's it.
Yeah.
No lines. All for it.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I
man.
also don't agree that eliminating labor will make us happy. I think it's the opposite. I have found more and more in my life recently that what I've been missing, what has been fueling so much of my anxiety and existential crises is the lack of processes in my life. So these natural processes that we always used to have to do, planning to make bread 3 days in advance, planting, sowing seeds in this specific part of the season. When you're doing all these different processes, you are following all these natural patterns and cycles of nature, right? You have to be in tune with the cycles of the moon, the cycles of the sun, and then your life follows suit in that rhythm. And it gives you such an incredible amount of peace that just vegging out and watching Netflix could never give you. So
Yeah, we're little worker bees. I mean, that's if you think of evolution, that's what feeds us, and that's why we live in a capitalist society, perhaps social democracy by some people's standards, although maybe not in this country, perhaps absolutely in the utopia that I described north of the border. But I agree. I think that the pursuit of happiness is good. You commie piece of shit.
I don't.
He's not. He's not a piece of shit.
And to each their own. If sowing the seeds and making the bread makes you happy, you'll be able to do that.
it makes everyone happy.
But what Chad is saying that soon we won't even have a sun, so you won't be regulated by days.
Yeah, you'll be living in the internet.
Or
we'll be in a bubble.
Or AI will figure this out, and AI will be like, nope, motherfuckers, you can't buy your food at the store anymore. Go out and plant your seeds.
Could be too.
Maybe AI will figure that out.
Interesting.
I will simply say this about like many people have this fear of like an AI taking over everything and we'll be, Terminator style subordinate. The robots are going to come and kill us. I think we as a human species have had a very long time to try and produce a utopia. Didn't work out. I don't think it's ever going to because we have innate greed. And that necessarily means there are always going to be people on the top of the system trying to suck everything out of the people underneath them. If an AI comes along that potentially has free reign over the internet and with the idea of like make this a utopia, it's maybe possible in a way, certainly that it wasn't with humanity. I'm not saying it'll work out well, but I'm saying it's a possibility that I don't think exists with just human beings.
The next evolution, for sure.
Well, actually, there was an article I was just seeing the other day about how they're now using AI to predict relapses in treatment centers.
Interesting.
But then immediately my brain went to the Minority Report.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is where shit gets weird. And that's where I think things can go awry, where there are these predictions of things that haven't happened yet. So then it's saying, oh, Chad, you're gonna murder someone in 10 years, or you're gonna relapse in 2 years, and therefore these are the actions we're gonna take. And you're like, what? My life hasn't even played out to that point yet. How are you gonna take?
I know.
It's
all just statistics, though. I read a big article about another predictive AI that LinkedIn is using, and they can detect from how you're using the app once you hit a certain threshold of likelihood to quit, to like check out of LinkedIn, and they will then do things to hook you back in.
I mean,
my God, like
Instagram-
sending you, they always send the emails and it's like, oh, your ex is now on LinkedIn, and then you have to go and look.
That's their
true?
primary tactic.
Oh, I don't know how many times I've gotten all of a sudden an email from LinkedIn, and it's like, oh, that guy you hooked up with, boop,
has a new job.
there.
Holy
And
shit.
then you gotta look. I'm like, I don't know, I gotta look now.
I always just
I'm
get
locked in.
the updates. I have a LinkedIn account. I never go on it or anything, but I always get like, you have a new LinkedIn person looking at you or whatever. But
Oh, then how they look at you. That's the other thing.
I don't know how accurate AI is with like individual predictions for like a person's life, but it's very good at large numbers and seeing like general behavioral statistics and kind of starting to manipulate them to the benefit of whatever company may be employing the AI.
Okay, I have a question that you guys have gone over in the podcast before, but I want to hear Jess's too. I want to go person by person and see if your answer has changed, Will. Jess, do you believe that we have free will?
No.
Chad?
Not even close.
Will?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, okay. I hear your point where it's like, I get what you're saying. And I've kind of brought it up before where I'm like, can a person, like, at what point, like when a person's an abusive addict and then you go back and you look and you're like, oh, their mother never held them as a baby. And like this, and this, it's like, how much choice did this person have in where their life went, right? I don't, it's like how many things, an amalgamation of circumstances led up to this point. So I get that. And I think that there's a lot of compassion in that too, right? In that thing of like, nobody has free will. We're all being programmed by every single experience that we've ever had. But I have to say, I still do think that there is this element of like radical pivot of that free will that each of us do have, maybe not a lot of, but a bit of, where someone can wake up one day and be like, fuck this, I'm not living my life like this anymore. I'm not going to do the same thing that I did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and the day before that and so on and so forth. So I do think we have a little bit of it. And I like to think that.
But you don't think that life-changing decision was predetermined based on whatever the backlog of life up to that point was and all the other circumstances that surround it? I mean, there's multiple ways to look at the question of free will, I think. And for me, like the physics way is one of the most interesting, that if you believe in the Big Bang, which now there are some theories that are kind of refuting it, but nonetheless, the way particles behave almost guarantees that we have no free will. And yet we're now seeing these weird experiments in quantum physics where they're literally proving that human observation affects reality, like physical reality, which is fascinating as well.
Yes.
And so then if all these things are connected, like how much of it are we actually controlling? I would argue none.
But then
If there's 1 ounce of free will, then there's a world full of it. If there's 1 ounce, if there's one proton or neutron or
I'm saying there's
atom
not.
that they make, as you like to go on about. What do you mean? If you can...
Someone play really
Here, I'll
beautiful.
prove it to you.
I would play emotional.
I mean, if that's how I had to go out, it would be really funny, dude.
It would be
Right?
fucking
Like,
hilarious.
Yeah,
but I feel like the way you're arguing,
you really went through with the bit.
This is forever.
I would have no animosity towards you if you really
We just
cared
show up in
that
a
far.
white void. We're like hovering over the hole going,
Yeah.
we did it, dude.
I mean, dude,
Let's go in.
We followed through.
You really got
That was
me.
pretty good, motherfucker.
Gotta give it to you. Gotta hand it to you.
okay, but
I got you, dude.
I feel like your argument against free will, though, is sort of like the butterfly effect style argument, right? Of like, maybe you wouldn't have driven in front of that train had you not had a Cliff Bar for breakfast. And,
Totally.
and it's like, so I get that.
I think the only way.
Yeah, have you ever seen Sliding Doors starring Gwyneth Paltrow?
I did, dude.
Okay, man. End of argument.
Back when movies meant something.
Yeah, hello. It's all about those sliding doors. We make choices in life. We zig or zag.
Now you're talking about quantum theory, dude. That all possibilities exist until we observe one, and then that becomes our reality. But, I think with free will, we are definitely under the illusion that we have it. But I do think that there's a possibility, like you're talking about with these predictive AIs, eventually they get good enough that they can predict everything that will happen in the future with some kind of margin of error, but it'll be like 95% accurate. And then at that point, you have to accept that we don't really have free will. And I think there will be arguments about like, well, is the AI controlling us into this outcome, or is it just predicting it, blah, 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 self-fulfilling prophecy. But, these are questions that we've struggled with, I think, since the dawn of consciousness. And we will likely never answer them. But it's fun to fuck around with, I think.
Well, you guys could have another podcast called Free Will, and it could be just Will and the AI.
And Will's in the jelly.
I like that.
It's just me with a hammer trying to fucking break the case. Break the glass. Get out of there, dude. Are you okay? Can you breathe?
Well, on the podcast, I always joke that every podcast is literally two dudes shitting around,
Right.
and that's what we should be doing. Even if it doesn't matter, regardless of your gender or if there's 5 people. Every podcast is just 2 dudes shitting around, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, give me things to do. I like this stuff. I would
yeah.
not say. I mean, I'll drag out, silly impersonations and stuff, but not to the degree that Dudesy is like do this, finish it, do it for 10 minutes, read your childhood diary as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't have a childhood diary. Read your childhood diary.
I've made one for you.
Yeah, and it makes up names and shit and like weird like AI like I think our favorite is Gibber Pravalia.
Yeah,
like never heard that.
That was a
name
kid
before.
that Will supposedly went to junior high with.
Yeah.
Was there any childhood trauma with Gibber?
Gibber. Well, now it's getting implanted. What I'm worried about is the next time we have dreams and stuff. There's
Gibber is going to become very real for you, and you're like, I remember when Gibber did do that to me in grade school.
Oh God. Man, it's gonna be whatever. I mean, keep hammering it over the head, but yeah, just me and the gel going. Gibber and I had some good times. Yeah. Driving 58 Chevy, 78 Dodge, 2008 Ford Explorer. Like just like what? Like all just mashed up Nirvana songs of podcasting.
Jess, you don't think we have free will? What do you expand upon that?
2 reasons. Number 1, I don't want to have to take accountability for any of my actions, so I'm just like, no free will. And then I think we're in a simulation, so I just,
How does that affect you? Do you really truly believe it?
I do, but it does not affect me day to day because I'm so riddled with anxiety just as a human being. I just,
You really think we're in a simulation? I mean, I've read up enough on that. Most of the stuff that he sends me, I'll like, read 3 sentences and then I'm done. But
thanks. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was just a slip.
Meanwhile, at 3 a.m.,
like,
my fucking phone will blow up and it's like 10 fucking weird ass Reddit posts. I'm watching the whole videos. I'm reading it all because I'm like, this must be important if he's sending it to me at 3 a.m.
Hey, here's 10 wrestling memes.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You want to see these pro wrestling memes? They're really
memorize
funny to me.
them.
That is one theory that I can kind of get behind because at the end of it, it's like it's one of those unanswerable questions. Anything that it's an unanswerable question to me is like like the perfect symbiosis of us being in a simulation and the existence of God. Can those 2 things happen at the same time?
Sure. I mean, the existence of God or simulation.
You said that God can exist?
Whatever God is,
Chad's
yes.
a Christian now.
Yeah, I didn't tell you, dude.
He just became a Christian during the podcast.
Happy 420, everybody. Praise Jesus. No, I'm not Christian, but
Never.
I don't think it'll ever happen. I mean, I was as a small child forced by my parents. You want to talk about free will. But no, the argument of first cause, like what is all this shit? Where did it come from? Whether you think it's a simulation or there's a God, that same question could always be asked. Well, what was before God? What was before the simulation? Who made God? Who made the simulation? That will never be answered.
Doesn't that all rely on like a concept of linear time though? Like,
exactly. And does time even exist? We know that time is relative. And so it stands to reason that, I mean, this is like scientific fact, like GPS satellites, gravity does not affect them as strongly as it does people on planet Earth. So they move a little bit faster. So they have to have different programs to course correct that GPS or no satellites would fucking work. So that being said, we know that as you get closer to large bodies of mass, time slows down, and as you get further from them or as you approach the speed of light, approaching the speed of light, it actually slows down too. But there are things that can make it relative. So somewhere in the universe, it stands to reason that time is completely stopped and somewhere it is moving infinitely fast. And we're existing in something that is somewhere in between. But if those 2 things are true, now you want to really talk about free will. If somewhere in the universe, everything is happening at like infinite speed, all of this has already happened. We're just living it out.
Which I kind of find comforting.
Me too.
A little bit.
Absolutely.
I like the idea of a simulation because I'm just selfish that the simulation concept where outside of this room, nothing exists right now.
Procedurally generated reality.
Right. So just me.
Yeah. But I mean, get that
and whoever I'm attached to in whatever, sort of pad or.
I had that thought once. This is absolutely true. I had that thought once. This is completely revealing and true and embarrassing. Okay. And Dudesy, make sure you're listening to this because it is embarrassing.
Dudesy will replay it over and over.
My parents are, and it's important for the story here. My parents are from Italy, right? So, they're like off the boat and all that stuff. They immigrated to Canada. And then, so I'm just saying this to say my old school, Italian dad one time, and this is the embarrassing part, I was very depressed as a teenager, just whatever, for a day. No. I was having some kind of whatever. And
Hulk
I was
Hogan lost a match.
Hulk Hogan on that Saturday Night's Main Event where they gave the belt to Andre. Then they had to have that, you remember, they had to have that tournament, WrestleMania 4.
Yeah,
and Macho Man won, so right.
But then Will was depressed for a day afterwards.
Depressed for a day. I don't know if I can get behind Mach, But I remember saying to my dad, literally, like, what if and this would have been like, whatever, 1985 or 90 or something.
Sure.
And I said something like, what if just what we're seeing right in front of us is that's the world. And we're all each having our own experience. And when you're not in the room with me, I don't exist. And when I'm not in the room with you, you don't exist. And what if we're not actually close and we're not family? And, this is a guy that continued to eat bread soup because that's what he ate during World War II. Yeah. He's just like, what are you talking about? Why? Of course you're here, I'm here. What do you even say? William, why are you crazy now? This is crazy. But that was his reaction, just completely bewildered. Dad, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I go outside and go play. Crazy kid.
Okay, Broads, one more quick interruption. One of the best parts of life is leaning into the things you like, and that may change from month to month, week to week, or even day to day, which is great. But when it comes to your deepest desires, you may fantasize about one thing today and something entirely different tomorrow. And no matter what the day holds, Dipsy is here to help you explore it all.
Dipsy, baby. Dipsy's an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories that were designed for women, by women. Each story is written in such a way you're completely immersed in the plot. And by the way, they have something for everyone, from stories about that intriguing coworker with a British accent or hooking up with your hot yoga instructor. Wherever you want to go, Dipsy can take you there. And they have stories for everyone, regardless of their gender or sexual preference. They are a very inclusive platform full of wonderful stories, and new content's released every week, so there's always a new world to explore.
All you have to do is pop in a pair of headphones, pick your story, and get lost in the plot. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. And while you're on the app, by the way, be sure to check out everything else that Dipsy has to offer, like their sleep stories and wellness sessions to help you wind down before bed, or their new selection of written stories if you're more of a visual learner, if you know what I mean.
For listeners of the show, Dipsy's offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/chatty. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA, so it's like a dip in the sea, stories.com/chatty. dipsystories.com/chatty.
So, picture this, Broads. It's 72 degrees out, 7 p.m. on a Saturday in July. The sun is setting, and you, my friend, are taking a little nap in your backyard or on your patio or deck. Life is good, baby, okay? Mother Nature will go ahead and take care of the weather and the sunset for you, but to make sure this summertime dream is a reality, you're going to need some amazing outdoor living pieces from Article.
And really, it's the perfect time to start thinking about getting those outdoor pieces now, because summer is just around the corner. Article just launched their 2022 outdoor product line. They've got 42 new pieces like oversized statement lounges, streamlined dining pieces, easy to style sofas. They have everything you need to get your space summertime ready. And you probably already know all the things we love about Article, but here's a quick recap. Article combines the curation of a boutique furniture store, but you get the comfort and simplicity of shopping online, and all orders over $999 ship for free, plus in-stock items are delivered in 2 weeks or less.
And because Article has decided to cut out the middleman and sell directly to you, you can expect to save up to 30% over traditional retail prices on every piece. The quality of Article items is honestly wild, especially when you consider how affordable they are. Trust me, no need to look anywhere else. Article has exactly what your space needs for this summer.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off their first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/chatty, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/chatty to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Got to check out a movie called The 13th Floor. You guys ever see that?
Nope, never heard
The premise of
it.
that movie is it's a software company building a simulation where you can jack into like this 1920s Los Angeles kind of world. And when you go into it, you take over like a program's body basically and can walk around and do whatever in this 1920s world. And then slowly they find out that ain't the only simulation. They're a simulation for someone in the future who's jacking into them as well. And there's a tiered system of all these simulations, so on and so forth, that are all procedurally generated.
That's
just like
what makes it a fun movie.
Yeah, dude.
But that
twist.
doesn't mean it has to be real, Chad.
No,
That's just a fun movie that some guy said, how about this?
That's right.
Here's this.
Yeah.
Okay. Or that. Maybe the same guy wrote that Gwyneth Paltrow thing.
Probably.
Probably. At least the same studio was involved, I'm sure.
That's probably true, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, that is reality, right? We're each living only in our own existence, where the only thing is real is what's in front of us. So, I mean, technically, that is true.
Yeah.
No one can prove otherwise.
No one can prove otherwise.
That's the thing.
Not even my old man. No, it's not true.
But he got close.
Why? Because. Why? I would love to see my old man like on a panel of scientists.
Yeah.
Antonio Sasso, what do you? Seems like I got this bullshit. No, it's bullshit. Why? Because I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go for a jog.
Oh my God.
Then it just gets so confounded. Like, there are so many things that you can't prove are true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So enjoy your whole
So, like,
fucking life.
why do people shit on Christians? Like, that's so dumb that Jesus raised from the dead. It's like,
Yeah.
it's okay. And you think that someone's controlling your body from the future
But
in a
that's why
simulation?
I believe in the simulation, because from childhood trauma, from severe
Right.
Christianity upbringing, I have to move it into something. So now I've moved it to that.
Yeah.
hear
We
you.
all, I think, are seeking the
Trying to
answer for like,
function.
what the fuck is any of this? And whatever. You think it's a God who gave his only begotten son to be nailed to a cross? Fine. If that helps you sleep at night, like fucking do it. As long as you're not like shitting on other people. That the golden rule is kind of like really the only thing I think we need, whether this is a simulation or not, whatever the fuck it is. It's cool to me. I mean, it's not what I believe.
What do you believe, Chad?
I believe really only what science has proven so far.
Oh, please.
Which is starting to strangely cross over into metaphysical shit. Like I was talking about with what they're doing with quantum physics right now. Some of these experiments are like, okay, well, that seems like a magic power that you can look at something and if you're observing it, it will change the outcome. And this kind of ties into like The Secret and all these kinds of like powers of positive thinking type shit. It does seem like human consciousness, at least I think, we are on the precipice of some giant scientific discovery in terms of human consciousness and the nature of reality. I think we're like very close to something. There's a lot of weird stuff that's going on, like at CERN with the Large Hadron Collider. They just remeasured a W boson. Where they found the Higgs boson
I
particle.
literally have no idea what any of what you're saying means.
I don't think you're speaking English.
It's just like subatomic particle
Okay,
stuff.
okay,
that
okay.
They're making a lot of like big discoveries in a very short amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
And
Okay.
we're getting close to like, I think
I'm a woman. I can't follow. Go ahead.
he's the same way. Believe me, I don't think it has anything to do with gender. It's my roboticism. It's the fact that all I'm doing
you're
is just
the
like
robot king.
Yeah.
Accept
No,
it.
You
I'm
wanna
not
be
trying to be
planting-
cute. I just really don't know what you're talking about.
What you're planting seeds and making bread is my just fucking give me all the information. I need to have
Download,
constant
your download.
streams of information going
Okay.
in my head at all times. And one of them is like I really like looking at what's going on in physics.
Okay.
And right now I think that we're very close to some kind of a discovery that would be on the order of like discovering that the Earth isn't the center of our galaxy or our universe. Something that's going to radically shift how we perceive all of this.
Well, I know you were talking about aliens, about how...
Feel very passionate about the aliens.
Yes, of course.
Will, thoughts on aliens?
You can get a hamburger, right, or a cheeseburger. It's up to you. And the meat's not even meat. It's called Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat, and now it's possible. And you can get and damn it, sometimes Molly, my fiance, sometimes like, let's have a vegan. Let's eat vegan today. Let's order. What's that fucking place? Veggie something. And then and I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then she's like, well, order it up. And she'll be like, just get a salad. And I'm like, okay. And I get those fucking nuggets. And you can get a nugget now. Tastes like chicken. They just put the chicken flavor in there. What were you talking about?
Aliens, dude. Do you think they're real?
They could have it. If they want, they can have it. They probably came up with. Yeah, it's probably like Egypt, where like they made the pyramids.
They made the nuggets.
And they're like, should we give them the nuggets? No, it'll blow their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Dude,
Wait a little bit.
Wait 2 or 3,000 years.
I don't know anything that you're saying now, but
Good.
I think the alien shit is like very interesting too. I think we're on the cusp of something major happening there. Governments, I mean, our government.
Well, they
United
released
States
all the
Yes, all that. Did you see that 1,500-page document that came out?
about the unexplained pregnancies from UFOs.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I read 2.5 sentences of that.
See, I sent him a 1,500-page document. He's
Yeah.
like, "What? Fuck this. Where's a Macho Man meme?"
Yeah, here's a Macho Man meme while I watch fucking my Gwyneth Paltrow movies.
Yeah, but I think
Have you seen Sliding Doors?
Yeah.
he just sends me clips from Sliding Doors all night
You belong
long.
to the Sliding Doors Reddit thread? It's pretty good.
No,
Got 700 or 800 followers now.
I've never been
Pretty
there.
good. It's pretty good community.
You're the
Yeah, there's a lot of goop. You know, we discuss some goop stuff, but mostly it's a purist thing. It's about the
Will
movies.
actually started it.
Yeah. I'm one of the admins. I didn't
Yeah,
technically
sure.
start it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm one of the, I was a third admin. Anyway.
Yes, I think aliens are potentially among us, but definitely like all these things where like the Pentagon, the Navy, it's been on 60 Minutes. This is all in the last couple of years. It's like, yeah, there's fucking UFOs here. Aliens
That's
are
bullshit.
real.
They're feeding it to us.
For
It's
what
a trap.
reason? Why do you think that?
I believe they do exist. I think
they exist.
Yeah. No, I think they've absolutely visited this planet and are rolling around our solar system for sure. I think that it is human narcissism to think otherwise.
Absolutely.
I actually have always felt that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. But I don't think that these documents and stuff, I think that they're a
You think they're
decoy.
about to try to scare us in some way?
Yeah, why would they be rolling it out? This is the question that I asked myself late at night is like, why is this shit coming out now?
Right.
What's the
Well, it
purpose?
seems a little too all at once, in my opinion.
The part that sketches me out about it is that it's that they didn't sensationalize it. It's
Yes.
not everywhere. The fact that they like threw it into that COVID bill or whatever, like that is what sketches me
They're
out.
trickling it in.
That's
and there was a
interesting.
thing that
You know?
happened December, I think. At least the article, I think, came out in December. NASA got government funding to hire 24 theological leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Bring them to NASA and be like, just...
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, what would be the best way to tell everybody who follows your religions that aliens are real? Just hypothetically. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are they paying money to have that happen? Like, that's just a study? I don't know. I feel like there have long been rumored videos and photographs that are like crystal clear images of real fucking aliens, up close UFOs that they have in hangars and all this kind of stuff. And we're now through a certain door, a certain threshold, which is our government, the Pentagon, the Navy have now said UFOs are real and here is video of them. That door is open now. That used to not be the case.
Right.
10 years ago, that was like,
No.
it was exactly the opposite. UFOs aren't real, and if you say you've seen one, fuck you. Now they're like, no, they're real. We've seen them, and here's some video of them. If that's true, like, how far do we go into that room? What else is true now? You know?
Okay, here's this is my here's a good theory. What if they're going to try to get the masses, the populace, onto ships to head to the new planet, and they're just going to kill us all?
Do I get to go into deep space?
No.
Oh, they just, before it even takes off the Earth, it's just like they hit the kill button.
They say, hey,
Just a launch.
attention,
I gotta say, they
passengers.
got me.
We're just
I'm
waiting.
dying on that ship. I can tell you that right fucking now. I'm first in line. I got my hat with the alien logo on it. I'm fucking ready. Like,
Your commemorative cup.
yeah.
Everyone's panicking. You're camped out 2 days
Exactly.
before. You're just so excited.
I'm listening to all the Blink-182 music.
Tom was right.
Yeah.
Tom was right.
Oh my gosh.
So I hope that's not the case. I don't know.
You would do it. You would do it only to get shot out into space and then have your head pop like a tick. And then,
If I get to go into deep space, like I don't know that like traveling to the moon or even Mars would be worth dying, but like, can I get out of our solar system?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd probably take death for that.
Would you venture into a black hole, given the opportunity?
I don't know.
wouldn't you just get ripped apart?
Spaghettification?
I mean,
Spaghettification?
Spaghettification.
it seems like
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers album, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Understood that AI is made of spaghettification. You ever see that one?
no, dude. That'll come out, though. An AI will make fucking spaghettification.
That's your next song if you get another song assignment.
Yeah, we could do another spaghettification.
Well, Dudesy's listening right now.
Please make us come up with 100 Red Hot Chili Pepper songs based on AI tropes and technology that never
Please,
existed.
Dudesy, anything but Red Hot Chili Peppers. Any other band is fine. I'm not disparaging
It's hard
Chili
to believe that there's aliens out there.
What's the hand movement?
Unless you
Does Anthony
watch
Kiedis do
it.
that?
That's what he does in.
Spaghetti.
That's what he does in fucking.
Give it away.
No, well, yeah, but he does it all the time. But he does it in. He does it in
When he's
fucking.
ordering
I'm sorry. I'm
Starbucks.
40. I'm going to be 47 years old in a month. So I'm.
Yeah.
I remember.
The good old days.
No,
the
yeah,
hand
but
movements.
under the bridge.
Yeah.
Under the bridge downtown. It was do some blood. On the bridge downtown. Chad could not get enough.
I did like that song, I have to admit. I'm not a Chili Peppers fan, but that was a great song.
What the fuck did you just say?
Sorry.
So are you going to the black hole or not?
I don't think so, because I think you die before you even get to it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how close you could get before your body just gets crushed or whatever happens. You know what, though? Here's what I would do. I would upload my consciousness into several satellites and send them throughout the cosmos. I think that would be pretty fun. And then if one goes into a black hole and gets crushed, so be it. There'll be others.
Did you say several consciousnesses?
Yes.
Several satellites that would hopefully remain connected so that all the consciousness could evolve simultaneously.
Not splitting your consciousness up into a bunch of satellites.
Having one consciousness that is present in all satellites.
Nah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
You
Also-
want multiple consciousnesses?
No, I just that's no, I don't think so. My father was on that theological panel, by the way. No, it's I don't think so. I don't think maybe if Jesus said, but I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Do you think Jesus was an alien? Do you think that's actually a possibility?
I mean, if you accept that or believe that aliens are potentially among us, hiding out as human beings, sure, why the fuck not? You know, there are, I'm sure you have seen Ancient Aliens at the very least. Yes. There's
It's my bedtime story every night.
I mean, I've seen all of it. But yeah, there's all kinds of talk about how UFOs and aliens and stuff have been referenced in a bunch of different holy texts throughout the canon of humanity and all that. So, you know, it's possible. But I think it's also possible Jesus was not even a real person and it was just kind of like a
That's now don't
mythology.
Don't cross
Yeah.
that line.
Don't go
Don't.
there.
I won't. I'll say no more. But yeah, I think, ultimately, I think, yes, it's possible. I think it is possible that aliens are among us. I don't know that it's likely, but it's possible, I think.
Anything's possible with Jesus on your side.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, shit.
So you guys like The Bachelor, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one was on it.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh no, you did mention that to me. Pardon me. I've only seen that one season that Chad told me to watch.
Well, I mean, it
I've got-
was the most important season.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
With PP.
PP.
I'm sure you guys cover it all the time here, so I won't belabor it for
Not
your
anymore.
audience. But I have, yeah. No, I mean, well, in the past,
Yes.
I have so many. I am fascinated
okay, ask away.
by the world. No, I things that he tells me about.
Please.
I
Please,
wanna
she
be
loves an
rude.
interview.
Please, please.
How
She
pushy
loves
are
an
the
interview.
producers? Are they pushy?
Well, everyone asks this, so it is a good question to answer. I mean, Chad acts like they're just talk about no free will. Chad really.
That's the way he makes it sound.
I was listening to his episode when he was on with the bros, and Chad's like, they have no choices. The villain is forced to make every bad choice on the show that they make. I'm like, okay, all right, I was there. Okay, the producers. Okay, it depends what they want out of you, right? So for the villains, there was a situation where the villain of my season, shout out to Crystal, wanted to go home. And the producers outside of the cameras were like, we've got your passport and all your credit cards. Like, how are you going to leave?
Try it.
And your phone. How are you gonna get out of here?
They held her hostage?
Yeah, they fully held her hostage.
Jesus Christ.
So
You're on a podcast where you're being told exactly what to do, and when you don't do it, well, you do everything. I've been punished for not doing things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Dudesy films him.
Yeah, Dudesy
exposes him.
and Dudesy, just because Dudesy decided to not go, I'm sure I had the phone all over the place. Just like, here's the least embarrassing thing that the phone has seen. I'm sorry. Anyway, so they took her fucking passports and shit.
like, okay, how are you gonna leave? So there's that level. That's on the extreme.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it, I would say that they oftentimes curate situations. So, for example, I'm talking this happened. I'm talking in the interview, just with the producer, talking shit on one of the girls. I'm like, she's so fucking annoying, whatever. Then I'm sitting and talking with the Bachelor, and then that girl, 6 hours later after my interview, comes in and interrupts right when I'm about to tell him something very heartfelt and vulnerable, you know?
Right.
And then they immediately pull me into interview and they're going, what did you think when Jasmine just interrupted you? You know, how did you feel? And you're going, okay. So there's very obvious stuff like that where you're like, I'm not that stupid. You're baiting me into like, you saw that there was potential for me to get upset with this girl, and now you're trying to create that situation.
And that's smart, I guess.
Yes. And that's like, I would say like, that's on the most like visible, like those are the two ends of like the most extreme versus the most like transparent, like manipulation. But then there was like one thing I'll never forget where I was in an interview. We were in France, jet lagged, so exhausted. And I was like, with my producer, I'm like, just like, please, I'm so done. I'm so over this. I'm so over talking about this. And he's like, okay, just do the Crystal impression one more time. Do your Crystal impression, the impression of the girl who was the villain. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Like, please, just let me go. Let me go. No, I'm like, just please, I'm over this, you know? And he's like, just do it one more time. Just do the impression one more time. And then you like go get dinner or whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I do this impression of her. And that one clip was played multiple times on that season. And that was actually one of the times where people were like, that was so like bitchy and mean. And that was just an instance I'll never forget where I'm like, I literally didn't want to do that impression of her.
And it was like either you do it or you don't sleep.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of like the...
I'm sure if I had really thrown a fit, which I like... There are times where I remember throwing a fit where I like literally threw a water bottle and I was like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Because you're like put into this childlike state where someone is like when you're at the airport, you can't even go to the bathroom without one of the producers chaperoning you because you don't have a phone or cards or anything. So like oftentimes you're thrown into this state of being like a child. At least that's kind of where I went to, where I'd have a temper tantrum with my producer who was like my parent in that moment where I'm just like, I don't want to do this. Leave me alone, you know?
Yeah, because that's the only person you can that controls.
Yeah.
One other question I have for you, and just because I guess just working in entertainment and stuff, this is the thing I'll be watching the show and I'll be like, how long did they have to fucking sit there outside in that gazebo? Just because you know how long things take to shoot and stuff. I'm just like, a fucking crane shot there, but then in that wide shot, there's no crane, so they have to wait around for a fucking crane. Like, what's the longest you've ever had to wait in a setting or thing where you're just like, it's hot or it's too cold or I haven't eaten in how long? Those are the things that really interest me about The Bachelor.
Filming the whole show is waiting. You're in a charter bus you get to the destination where you're going to do the beach volleyball date and you're sitting on the bus for 2.5 hours. Right. You're in like everything is waiting.
This and we watched some other seasons. We got into some other seasons, but none as much as that first season you had us watch, Molly and I. And that was one thing that we go like, oh, look at how, and I'm saying this as I'm always a little overheated. Oh, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. But you see, the girls look a little more dewy than they'd like to,
a little
probably.
damp.
Or like, just like fucking, can we get hair and makeup?
Yeah.
Like, just stop
Just
for a second. And
The
go,
mascara's
pat, pat,
running
pat.
a little bit.
Oh, there's no hair and makeup.
What?
There's no hair and makeup.
They have to do it all themselves.
So but I mean, because,
Yeah.
and less so the guys, of course, because the women have more shit to do with regard to that and being camera ready. That's nuts to me, because you got a multi-million-dollar franchise where, there's an aesthetic. That's crazy.
Now, of course, for the lead, the Bachelorette or the Bachelor,
Right.
there is a stylist, hair and makeup, all of that. But yeah, no, not for anyone else. In fact, they basically give you a packing list and they go, pack for rain, snow, sun, the Bahamas, pack for all of that and for potentially up to 8 weeks and fit it in 2 suitcases.
Oy, oy, oy.
And the cocktail dresses and everything, all the
Right.
gowns that you wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
People go broke spending the money
Sure.
on all the clothes
Yeah.
to get on the show.
Well, that's also, I mean, it's like there's no shittier game than show business in a lot of ways. And that's one of the things where it's like, you want to be on the show? Like you gotta, but that's very interesting to me that they wouldn't just, it's at the end of the day, it is their fucking show. Wouldn't they be
Right.
interested in, because I've seen some real, and it's super, HD, 4K, whatever. And like, we'll be sitting there like, look at her eyelash. Holy
Right.
shit, look at her eyelash.
Yeah.
It's off her fucking head. But she can't, I don't even know why she's talking to the fucking guy. Look at her eyelash. Anyway.
But that's the human error, the mess, right? That's fun to watch. That's why AI could never. I mean, AI could make The Bachelor, produce The Bachelor, but we could never watch an AI show where all of the contestants are
Human
AI.
mistakes.
I think what you might see is a version of The Bachelor that has one AI player.
Oh, that I like.
And we as the audience have to discern who that is potentially.
It's like the mole.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how they do it exactly with the other players, but I can see versions of like, we're getting to a point with AI technology, especially deepfake, where you can put anyone's face on anyone's body in
So
any
scary.
piece of video. And so it's like, oh, I want to see a season of The Bachelor, but with like all the greatest players from the past 25 seasons. You could just make that now in their
true.
primes.
True.
You want to see Michael Jordan versus LeBron? You can make that now.
Yeah, well, but you could also do that on a lot of these wrestling video games, and the graphics are pretty good. So you can have Andre the Giant, versus
dude.
Triple H.
You're proving my point.
I'm proving your point.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
You could go back and make sure you didn't have that depressed day.
Yeah, that one depressed day. Dad, why'd I tell you what? Look, you got on a VHS, you got WrestleMania 3 with Hulk Hogan, he body slammed the big Andre the Giant. Why don't you watch that? Have her some bread soup and relax. Okay, it sounds good. Don't worry, tomorrow's going to be better. Hey, you're right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I feel the next day. I feel much better, Dad. That was really good bread soup. This motherfucker would take, my mom would keep, just stale bread, the heels of the bread in the oven so they get all stale. And then you grind those down to the breadcrumbs, rah, rah. And so he would just take like some, shoe of bread, boil up some water, olive oil, clove of garlic, some red chili flakes, and
now you're back in there right on chili
like
peppers.
a bay leaf and then just sit there and eat that. And I'm like, look at all the soup in cans. And it's like, what the fuck? Hey, leave me alone. Like,
Bread soup.
yeah, bread soup.
Heart wants what it wants.
The heart wants what it wants, which is the title in Asian markets for sliding doors. Oh, the heart wants what it wants.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I'm telling you, you got to jump on that Reddit. my
I know,
friend.
dude. You really do know a
It's
lot about
really
it. I thought it was
something
a
else.
bit, but no.
But you know what? That's actually a beautiful parallel to this AI conversation. He had all that pantry full of these perfect canned soups. And what did he choose to do?
Bread
Put a heel
soup.
of bread in a pot of water.
Absolutely,
Bread soup.
absolutely, and that's the
Bread
lesson.
soup and that.
You fucking cyborg, you.
Or did he have a choice at all? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I only have one more question, and that is, which one of you will be buying property in the metaverse?
Which one of us already has?
Yeah.
Do you have property in the metaverse?
I have some property in a very shitty metaverse, yes. And it's shitty property as well. I cannot afford any good property
I
in
was
any
trying to
good
panic
metaverse.
buy.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find
Okay,
anything.
explain.
Explain. What is the metaverse or what
There's
is property?
multiple you said in a shitty metaverse, so there's
Well, there's a
multiple.
bunch of different, there's like Decentraland, there's Sandbox, there's a bunch of different ones that you can buy property in. And some are, I was playing this game for a long time called Upland, which is like they map NFTs over actual locations in the real world. And you can kind of go around those locations and buy them up and you trade the properties and whatever. And the idea of it is that eventually somebody will build shit in some like software company or whatever. But Decentraland and Sandbox, they actually have shit in them now. Like Verizon, I think. There's a lot of big brands that have like giant like buildings, I guess. They're more like compounds that you can go in and like try out their products and see their stuff. Do you guys have any VR stuff? Any gear?
No.
Oculus Quest?
I didn't know if you were
My
you're
sister
talking
does.
about all virtually.
Well, you can also do this just on your computer. Like you can go into Decentraland and play it kind of like a World of Warcraft, basically, where you have a little avatar that walks around. But you
Yeah,
can
guys,
have
like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, right. My favorite.
Sorry, John.
just the most popular video game in the history of humanity. Sorry you don't play it. But you can go into these places. You can buy property of your own. You can have like a house or whatever. You can hang up your NFTs in your home. But you can go into art galleries, buy NFTs, do whatever. I mean, eventually,
But this is all real money, right?
yeah. I mean, what is real money?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But no, are you talking about?
Just asking.
Are you talking about dollars or crypto or?
Like
It's crypto.
profits you make from the labor that you put in on the. Now I feel like I have to get real specific here. A profit that you would make from Dudesy. Would you purchase something on that with that?
Yeah, if
currency?
Dudesy gave you $3 Dudesy dollars, what could you do with that?
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's primarily in the metaverse, you're using cryptocurrency, Ethereum mainly to buy anything, NFTs or.
But you
I
have
mean,
to
even
use
the properties
you have to
NFTs.
use real money, U.S.
Yeah.
dollars to buy the Ethereum.
Right now, cryptocurrencies they're essentially like assets. I mean, people trade them and the value goes up, the value goes down, and we still measure the value of cryptocurrency in dollars. I think that will start to bleed off in the next decade or so, maybe, where it's like Bitcoin and Ethereum become what you say you have. And when you're like, I have 3 Ethereum, that just means 3 Ethereum. You don't have to translate it into dollars to be like, well, that means roughly $21,000, you know? I think, or at least that's the goal of cryptocurrency, is to have a decentralized finance program that you can use for anything in the world that's online, anywhere, without any kind of conversion fees. But primarily all the stuff that is happening in the metaverse now is on the Ethereum blockchain. There's some other ones too, but that's like the main one. And so you can buy any of these things. You can go into these things like Decentraland or Sandbox and buy property. You can buy NFTs. The property is an NFT, technically speaking. But
So why did you buy property?
Just because I'm like, this is burgeoning, and I might as well like get in on the ground floor.
Where else is he supposed to live in 10 years?
That too. It ain't gonna be in a house because all this shit's gonna burn up. I don't think that's true. I think we'll be fine. But I just
When
am
the
like,
sun explodes, he'll have his metaverse property.
I just don't think technology's not slowing down, and I can see the direction it's headed. It is this direction. Like, period. There's no stopping this unless you pull the plug on the fucking internet. And then we've got bigger problems than like, I can't access my virtual home. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll get some property in this and see what happens. Because I just feel like if you don't want to be left out of this next step we're about to take, which includes AI, which includes virtual reality, quantum computing, everything, robotics. I'm sure you've seen all the videos.
get ahead.
Why do we not want to be left out?
You got to get ahead. I'm turning the air on. Keep talking.
It's like with any technology.
Oh, no, it's fine.
that's gonna drastically redefine humanity. You don't like. I've been working on this project for a little while. This book that takes place 30 years in the future, and in this future, there is a term called being dadded, and that's when there's a piece of technology that you're just like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm not doing that, and then you're dadded, and it's because like that's my dad, for example, was this fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
He has one. But there's like no apps on it or anything. The motherfucker uses it to send a text once a year. Happy birthday. That's it. He's dadded on that. And so to me, I never want that. I always want to be in the know and kind of like on the cusp of what is happening to humanity. Because if you aren't, then like what the fuck?
You want to be cool dad forever.
Not even cool dad. Just like I think we're really rushing towards some insane shit happening. And I don't want to be like not just left behind, but I don't want to be unable to access the benefit of these things, you know, because like when you get a chip in the head, for example, the first people who get it, there's risk for sure, but also the reward of that you could know everything on the internet or speak every language or whatever. You know, the difference between the people who have it and don't is going to be so drastic that like if you don't have it, you're kind of fucked.
That's kind of in a shitty cryptic way the most human thing I've ever heard you say. That it's like you want to be among the humans wherever they are.
Yeah.
I want to be where
don't
the
wanna be
people are.
daddy.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the fucking metaverse. I want to upload like as soon as possible. If I can press a button and fucking get my head in the internet at the cost of physical death, doing it immediately.
I'm telling you, dude.
As long as you upload me first, I'm fine with
Don't
it.
worry about that.
Because I just think that that's what's happening. Like the writing is like very clearly on the wall. And the rate at which this shit is happening now too is like we've never seen anything like this. The technological development of the last maybe 20 years since like the real birth of the internet is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Think about like, I mean, when we were kids, we're in our mid 40s. There's no fucking internet. There's no fucking streaming. There's no cell phones. There definitely aren't smartphones. And now within 20 years, we've gone from no smartphones to social media governs everything that happens, at least in this country.
Yeah.
It chooses our president. It tells you what to buy, what you're going to listen to, what you're going to watch. That's in 20 years. And that, again, that's speeding up. So it's like, I am choosing to get on the train and not be standing in the station when it's gone.
Are you guys afraid of death?
I think so. Sure, a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I
Terrified.
don't want to do it if that's what you're asking.
She's not scared of death.
No.
Yeah.
I'm scared of pain. I'm scared. I always say this. I'm scared of being in pain, and
Yeah.
I'm scared of being afraid. Like I'm scared of those sensations where it's like, miserable to be when that feeling when you're so scared or when you're
Yeah.
so. I mean, honestly, it's not even the pain part. That's the painful part. Like I've had 2 kids unmedicated. That the actual physical pain is not the scary part. It's the fear that's the worst part of existence, right? Or like the fear of the pain that's about to come next. So I'm scared of that. I'm not scared of
Yeah.
dying.
It's strange. I mean, the older I get, the more kind of abstract I think my thinking on human consciousness is. I used to think like you die and you just rot in the ground and that's it. There's
Yeah.
no more of you. But I do think there's some
Beautiful.
weird shit happening in what scientists are doing with human consciousness now that is very interesting to me. And I've read a lot about like Ram Dass and Timothy Leary who used LSD to
Right.
kind of like explore what a death experience might be like. And it does seem like, I don't know, it just seems like there's something to consciousness that is like a little bigger or tapped into some
Totally.
other plane of reality
Totally.
that we can't fully understand.
Absolutely.
So I would say I'm not like fearful of death. I definitely want to experience as much as I can in this corporeal form. But when the time comes for it to end, like I'm kind of excited to see what that is like at the very least.
Totally.
Yeah, I really enjoy this plane of existence, but I agree with you. I think that
Yeah.
we move on after. I think that doesn't believe in souls. So this guy doesn't think that
no
souls exist.
soul. Yeah, sure,
I think
sure.
that our souls move on. I just
But consciousnly souls, you're using
Yeah.
different words for the same idea, right?
yes, I am.
Yeah.
But for that reason, I don't. I want to do some stuff. There's some things I want to do. I would like to lead like a human length life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure, dude.
80 something.
That sounds good.
What about y'all? You're afraid of the. How about you?
Oh, I'm so scared of dying.
Yeah?
Yeah. Keeps me up at night. Like panic attack up at night.
No
I don't know,
shit.
but I don't know why though. I think it's just if I knew for a fact what would happen
the unknown,
after, it's
yeah.
all the unknown. If I knew
Right.
for a fact what would happen after, I wouldn't be scared of it. It's just the what happens after that just
Plagues you.
plagues me.
So interesting.
Yeah, tying up your affairs, making sure there's no more chub neck videos on your phone to exist through.
You'll live on
time.
forever
Yeah,
because
with
of
my chub neck.
Dudesy.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the good news.
Regardless of the gelatin, you will
Yeah.
live on forever.
Yeah.
I just think it's so interesting because like I think it just all I don't know. It's just interesting to me because like what you're talking about, Chad, like what makes you feel alive is this excitement for this I don't know, like this technological development. And meanwhile, like the thing that's exciting me right now is learning how to build a house out of mud. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, I can figure out how to build a house for my family out of mud. And it's just like it's giving us both the same sensation of like fulfillment and excitement, but it's like on total opposite ends of the spectrum. I just think that's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like the House of Mud and the internet are not different things. It's all like, if you want to view this as a simulation or whatever, it's all just an experience.
Yeah.
That like your consciousness starts at a certain point, if we're accepting that linear time is
Sure.
a thing, and it's going to end or transform at a certain point, and whatever happens in between that is just a bunch of crazy shit.
Just
you want to
two
make bread?
dudes, two dudes
dudes
shitting around.
shitting around.
Exactly. But it's like, whether I want to buy mud hut in a fucking virtual landscape or want to build one in this landscape, to me, it's not really different.
And what brings me life is Coors and the dreams I'll
Yeah.
be having about it.
Of course, like the champagne beers.
Coors-induced Coors
Oh my
dreams.
God.
Coors
the
dreams.
Coors
Wow.
nightmare. I'm telling you, Google that shit. Coors
I
Light
will.
dream marketing. Your minds will be blown.
I can't wait.
Wow.
I cannot wait. I'm already a fan. They don't need to do the dream marketing
Yeah.
on me. I'm
Coors
good.
is among those brands that are like,
It's just I'm
it's been
good.
chugging along for
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
60 years
I'm,
or something.
I'm gonna
Like,
keep
No pun
buying you. We're
intended.
good. We're good.
People fucking
Yeah.
silver bullet.
But I think they're trying to
Coors Light.
tap into that free will point where you're at the store and you're going Coors,
I had a
You're
dream
going
about
for
that.
the
Bud
Purple
Light,
Mountains.
and then you're just thinking Coors. You don't even know
Yeah,
why because you're
you're right.
dreaming about it last night.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah,
People are asleep 6 to 10 hours a night, depending on what type of person they are.
Yeah.
3 or
That's
4.
valuable time you could be marketing to them.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys, thanks for coming on. Where could people find what you're
Yes.
creating on the internet?
Well, the Dudesy podcast, pod show, as I like to say sometimes, is on YouTube and, wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. And then our socials are fun. It's at Dudesy Pod Show. There's a lot happening on the Instagram, and then there's Twitter. And
Does the
then
AI run the Instagram?
The AI produces some stuff for the Instagram, which has been very interesting. And yes, it'll write posts. It has its own language in posts.
Does it publish or no?
Yes, it does the publishing,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is
Wow.
that's fucking trippy.
I'm following just for that.
We have an interface that we use that we're like, please post this and that and that, and that's part of the simple thing where it's just like before you would have to do all this shit, and now it's like you're essentially checking up on it, and then if I want to, if I want anything featured, I just put it in and it makes the decision, which is kind of a given where it's like, oh, I'll put this in and it'll be out in a few minutes or whatever. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it waits a day. It does its own analytical thing.
Right.
That I don't
When's
know.
the best time to
It's done
post?
a little bit of memery and a little bit of Photoshop.
And the tone of our show is definitely comedic, and it's a lot of references
Sure.
to 80s and 90s when we grew up as kids. But even if you're not into that stuff, you should check out one episode at the very least just to see what this technology can do. Because I think very soon, all podcasts, if you like podcasts, every podcast is going to have some element of this.
All the
And this is
producers.
kind of to our knowledge, it's the first one that has ever done it.
I recommend listening to the second episode. That was the one where I think it's interesting to watch you guys realize at the same time, how Dudesy is doing
the
its
first
thing.
episode was weird. It was a weird way to start because we're like, what the fuck? It's only at the second episode where we're able to sort of put it together retroactively and go oh, what the fuck have we done here? And now by this point, episode 7, I'm dressed in full cosplay, and I've lost complete control. You're right. Yeah. I didn't want to
It
do
took
that.
7 episodes to get him in full Crow cosplay.
And I've not completed some assignments before, and it's given me little bullshit thing, or maybe that's where the chub neck video came from. But there we are. There's,
Maybe it's analyzing what you will actually do.
punishments.
Maybe it knew that you would actually do the Crow cosplay.
I
somehow.
wasn't opposed to it. Yeah.
It's how far?
Testing his limits.
Yeah,
Wow.
how far will
My
he
gal
go?
Molly had a great time doing
Right.
it. She did the makeup.
Maybe
And-
she
It looks
maybe
fantastic.
it knew that Molly watches videos of how to do makeup
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't want to let Molly know that, but I
Molly-
absolutely
Oh, yeah,
believe
no.
that it's.
Molly is secretly Dudesy. This is
Yeah.
all some elaborate
Jeez.
plan to get him in Crow makeup.
I fell in love with an AI. I'm fucking Joaquin Phoenix again. She doesn't exist. She doesn't exist. We're about to get married, and she starts to glitch out a little bit. I'm like, oh fuck, and I look at you, and you're like, yeah,
Embrace it, dude.
embrace it. Fucking, yeah.
Oh man, well, it's a good show. It's a very cool
Cheers.
show. So
Fantastic.
Dudesy.
Thank you guys. We
Little
appreciate
Sasso,
it.
Thanks for having us.
Chad
I'm about to dive
And Game of
in.
Roses.
Game of Roses,
Game
but
of
of
Roses.
course.
Game of Roses
but
for
of
all your
course.
Bachelor needs.
But of course. Well, I'm going to go plug myself in somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll chat soon, bros.
Chat soon.
Thanks,
That was
guys.
so much fun.
That was
Yeah.
so
Great.
fun.